Hello guys and welcome in this third episode on how to make a Plant vs Zombie game inside Unity. In this episode here I can show you what I will teach you is pretty much we will be able now to make our plant attack the zombie, and also when the zombie have 0 health they're gonna be destroyed. So yeah, this is what you will learn today. So let's jump into that tutorial. So let's jump in that third tutorial. So let's go. So now what we need to do is find a way when we place a plant on the field to let the plant know what spawner or spawn point I can say that is in charge of the line where we are placing the plant. So to make that happen, let's do that. Let's add something on the containers. So what we can do is add a reference on the object container script to the spawner. So for example, the 9 first container here will have a reference to the first spawner. So let's do that. We're gonna open the object container script. We're gonna add a public spawn point, and we can call it spawn point. So now we know that now we have a reference to the spawn point, but we need to assign them because they are all empty at the moment. So let's do that. I'm gonna just make some place here in the hierarchy so I can do what I need to do. So we have all the spawners there. So what we can do is select the first 9 container and drag and drop the spawner 0 here. So now they all have the spawn point assigned to the reference. Let's do the same thing with the 9 other spawners with the second spawn point. Again with the other one. Again here. And the last row. Perfect. So now we have a way to tell our plant what spawn point they have. So that will be useful because what we're gonna do next is update the spawn point script, so that when we are spawning a zombie, we're gonna add the zombie into a list. So now the plant will be able to look at the list if there is a zombie alive, and they will also be able to check the distance of each zombie compared to the plant position. So the nearest zombie will be the one that we will attack with the plant. So let's add that also. Here we need to add a list of the game object. We can call them zombies. And you know what? We can just have a reference. No, I think, yeah, the game object is the best way to do it because we need to have the game object position also. So yeah, let's do it like that. So now we need to go into the spawner script. And when we are spawning a zombie, we need to add the zombie into that list. First, don't forget to make it public. So here we can have the list here. So into the spawner script, we're gonna open the spawner script. As soon as we are spawning a zombie here, what we're gonna do is get the spawn point. And we can get his component spawn point, and we can reach the variable zombies, which is the list, and add to that list the game object of the zombie instance, just like that. So we can test that by pressing play here. So if we look at the spawn point here, you can see that we have the zombie in that list, and the one that have no zombie spawn have nothing in their list. So we have a way to keep track of the zombies now. That's perfect. So now we need to add a reference on the plant to the spawn point. We need to look with the plant now when we are instantiating it. Like when we drop a plant into a container, we need to add a little bit of piece of code there that will be useful to know the list of zombies. So we need to first get the object container script, look at the spawn point, and saving a reference to the list of the spawn point that it have for the zombies that it's spawning. So let's go into the script where we are instantiating that. I think it's inside the object card script. No, it's not there. It's probably on the container. Yeah, and it's the game manager, I think, that is in charge of instantiating that. So let's go into the game manager. Yeah, we are calling the function placeObject here. So we can create a new variable, a new game object variable with that instance. So game object, we can call it object it equal to that instance, maybe object game. That's better because the variable object already exists in Unity environment. So let's do it like that. So here what we can do is first we need to create the variable on that script. So if we go into our prefab and we go into the plant game, we don't have any script for now, so let's create a new one, which would be our plant controller. So in this script, we're gonna manage a plant and we're gonna use that script to attack, like instantiating the bullets and everything. So let's create here a public list of game object, which is the zombies, and we're gonna make a reference to that list when we are instantiating that object. So here now we can get the component plant controller and get the list of zombie and making it equal to the current container get component object container spawn point and zombies. So let's try that. I'm gonna place a plant right here, and now if I'm pressing stop and I'm going into the scene, I'm pressing the plant, you can see that I have inside my zombie variable, I got the zombie with the bucket here. So that is working fine. And if I'm deleting that zombie into the plant here, you can see that there is a missing object, but later on we're gonna just delete delete it when he just die. So now what we can do is inside the plant controller, we can add an update function. And we can go through that list. So first, if zombie count is greater than 0. So to not use too much CPU, we're gonna just look at first if there's something inside that list. If there's something, now we're gonna go through each game object of that list. So I just cut the video there because I just realized something that I was doing wrong. So just to fix that, first you just need to add that variable here. Don't mind all those other variables. Yeah, I will show them to you later on in the video. So just add the boolean is attacking. So if the zombie count is greater than 0, and also if is attacking is equal to false, what we're gonna do here is obviously make is attacking equal to true. So we're gonna allow the plant to attack, so instantiate some bullets to the zombies. We can also add another else if the zombie count is equal to 0 and also is attacking is equals to true. What we're gonna do here is set is attacking equals to false. All right. So I just cut the video there because I just realized something that I was doing wrong. So just to fix that, first you just need to add that variable here. Don't mind all those other variables. Yeah, I will show them to you later on in the video. So just add the boolean is attacking. So if the zombie count is greater than 0, and also if is attacking is equal to false, what we're gonna do here is obviously make is attacking equal to true. So we're gonna allow the plant to attack, so instantiate some bullets to the zombies. We can also add another else if the zombie count is equal to 0 and also is attacking is equals to true. What we're gonna do here is set is attacking equals to false. All right. So to make that happen, what we need to do is create a variable attack cooldown, and also having another variable that is keeping track of time, which will be the attack time. So let's create a public float attack cooldown, and let's create a private float, which will be the attack time. So before going further, we also need to have a reference to our prefab of our bullets, but now we need to create it to be able to have that. So before going further, I'm gonna just do that. So first I'm gonna just create here a public game object, and we can call it bullets. Not with a capital B, but just a small b like that. All right, and we can just go inside Unity and create the game object of the bullet. So let's create a new UI image, and for that image here we can go into the texture, and we have the bullet texture. And we can resize it to the proper size, 346 to 463. No, that is the position, sorry. I'm gonna just paste it there. And obviously we're gonna have to scale it down a little bit. So this is maybe a little bit too big, maybe like that. Yeah, that should work. And also what we need is a collision, so we need to add a box collider 2D and make it the size of the bullet. So 100 by 100, I think it's fine. And we also need to add rigid body 2D to be able to detect the other collision. I'm gonna put it to dynamic. And we obviously need to create a new layer, which will be the bullet layer. This is the collision layer that will be able to detect when he is colliding with a zombie collision. So here I'm assigning the layer bullet to him. We can rename the image here to bullet. We can also go into the edit project setting of Unity and remove everything through bullet except the zombie. So we only want to collide with zombies. Now we can create our prefab with that bullet. So inside the prefab folder, we're gonna just drag and drop the bullet there. And also, if we are opening our game plant, we can assign the bullet to his bullet variable. So now we have a reference to the bullet, so we can instantiate that bullet in the game. So let's go back to the plant controller script. We're gonna here look at the current attack time. So if the attack time is smaller or equal to time, what we're gonna do is instantiate our bullet. And we get instantiated child of our plant, so we're gonna spawn it at the right position. So transform not that, but just transform. Yeah, just transform is gonna work. Also, what we want to do here is update the attack time variable with the time plus the attack cooldown variable. So that means that the attack time now will be greater than time, so the time will need to wait before the number here will be smaller than the current time. So this is the way to make a cooldown actually. Alright, so now that we have that done, what we have to do is create a script for the bullet. So let's go back to the prefab of the bullet. We can add a new script. Let's create new script here and name it just bullet. Double click on it. So it's going to be a little bit similar than the zombie controller script to make moving the zombie. So what we're going to do here is a translate but in another direction. So obviously we have a movement speed variable here that we can just copy and paste into the bullet. After that we're gonna have something similar to that, but we can just remove the if it's stopped. All right. And instead of multiplying by -1, we're gonna just use the movement speed directly like that. So let's just try it like this. It won't do any damage to the zombie for now. We're gonna just look at it if it's working or not. We can make it move a little bit faster than the zombie. So let's say 0.1 just to see. Also, I think we need to set up other data into the plant here. attack cooldown here. Let's say that we're gonna attack every 2 seconds. Alright, so let's try that. I'm gonna put the plant here. Now the zombie come here, and we are instantiating our bullet every 2 seconds. So now I think what is happening here is probably that the plant is already scaled down, so it's kind of scaling down the bullet at the same time. So if we look at the bullet here, you see that we have our scaling, and the plant object also have a scale down. So let's look at the proper scale of the bullet. So 1 is obviously too much. Let's say that this size is good, is 0. Let's copy that size and go to the prefab of the bullet here and paste it and check back if it's working fine. Yeah, pretty good. Now obviously we can probably offset the position of the bullet to make it fit with the mouth of the plant, but I think for now it's not really an issue, so we can let it like that. I think the speed is not fast enough, so we can increase it probably to 0.8. Let's try that. Even that is not enough. Let's say 1.2. Let's find a good speed. I think it's similar to that. So perfect. Now what we have to do here is we can copy also another piece of code. Like the on-trigger enter is really good for the bullet. We can use that. Also, if the layer is 10, I don't think it's the right one. If we look at the zombie prefab and we look at the layer of the zombie, it's 11. So if we are colliding with something with the layer 11, what we're gonna do here is we're gonna destroy self, or just that game object. So let's see if it's working. So the bullet will spawn and just destroy as soon as we are hitting the zombie. So that's fine. Now what we can do here is create a new function on the zombie controller, which will be called public void receive damage. And we can add here the amount of damage. So it could be a float, which will be damage. So we're gonna use that function here to manage the health of the zombie. So what we're gonna do here is first look if health minus the damage is less or equal than 0. What we're gonna do is the zombie is dead. Else, what we're gonna do is only health is equal to health minus damage. So it's an int and this one is a float, that's why. So the float, probably the health here, yeah, we can maybe receive a int instead. So I think that only int value could work. Let's say that if the zombie die, we're gonna just destroy the zombie. So first we need to remove it from the list of his spawn point, and it's, since we are spawning the zombie inside the object container, no, not sorry, inside the spawn point, that means that we already know which spawn point the zombie have, since it's gonna be his parent. So we're gonna use that. So here we can look at parent. It's inside the transform, so transform that parent, that get component, spawn point, that zombie. We need to remove our zombie, which is the zombie that we are on, and after that we can destroy the zombie. Of course, we can also fire a particle effect at the same time, so it's gonna be probably way more pretty like that. But for now, I think just by making it work like this, it's gonna be perfect. So now that we have the function that is all set up, we can go into the plant controller, onto the bullet, sorry, and we can add a public int damage value here, and when we are colliding here with a zombie, we can first fire up on the collision that game object that get component zombie. We should have, no, it's the zombie controller, sorry. We call the receive damage function, and we're gonna just feed it with the damage value of the bullet. So obviously, if we want to use the bullet on more than one type of plant, what we can do is when we are instantiating the bullet, we can add the damage value, like we can change that value to the one of the plant. So we can also do that. So on the plant controller here, when we are instantiating the bullet, first we can just create a variable with that. So let's call it, it's a game object bullet, bullet instance. What we're gonna do here is get his script bullet and get his damage value, and it's going to be equal to, here we can also add a damage value to the plant, so public int damage value. So automatically we can use the plant will assign the damage value to the bullet, so we can use that bullet on every plant that we have. So that's pretty good. Now we need to assign to the plant the damage value. So if we remember here, we set up the health of the zombies. So let's say that the bullet will do 100 damage because they have a lot of health. So let's say that the damage value is 100. It's going to be useful also to test and see the health of the zombies. I'm gonna press stop here, look at the zombie. So the zombie have 560, now he have 460, 360, 260, 160, 60, and now boop, he is now dead. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed that tutorial. Next step, we're gonna set up the zombies so that they will be able to attack the plant. So thanks guys for watching, and I hope that you will be there in the next tutorial.